The sun was rising slowly over Greenfield School. It was the day that every student waited for the whole year, Sports Day. The ground was full of colorful flags, white track lines, and excited students. Some children were wearing their house shirts, teachers were checking the arrangements, and parents were sitting under tents to watch the events. Among all the students was a quiet boy named Ian. He was 14 years old, tall, thin, and always kept to himself. Ian loved running more than anything else. When he ran, he felt like he was flying. But even though he loved running, he had never joined a race in school. He always felt shy. He always thought, I am not good enough. People will laugh. What if I lose? He had simple shoes, no sports training, no confidence. So he only ran when nobody was watching, like when he ran home during rain or raced with his little brother in the street. But inside his heart, Ian had a dream. One day, I want to become a real runner. He just didn't know that this sports day was going to change everything. At exactly 9 a.m., the sports teacher Sir Salman spoke into the microphone. Dear students, our next event is the 400-meter running race. All participants, please come to the track. Ian watched the boys walking confidently to the starting line. They were the famous athletes of the school, fast, trained, and always winning medals. Teachers knew their names, parents clapped for them, and other students admired them. Ian wished he could stand there too, but he stayed back quietly near the crowd. Suddenly, everyone heard a loud shout from the track. One of the runners, Hamza, had fallen during warm-up. He was the fastest runner in school, but now he held his ankle in pain. Sir Salman rushed to him. Hamza, can you run? No sir, Hamza said sadly. My ankle, I can't even stand properly. The teachers looked worried. Without Hamza, they did not have enough runners for the race. We need at least one more participant, Sir Salman said loudly. Who wants to join at the last minute? Nobody answered. Some were scared, some were shy, and others didn't want to lose to the trained athletes. Ian felt something inside his heart change. His hands were shaking, but not from fear, from a strange courage he had never felt before. He took a deep breath and raised his hand. I will run, Ian said. Everyone turned towards him. Some boys laughed. Some whispered, Ian, he doesn't even run. Even Sir Salman looked surprised. But Ian didn't take his hand down. Sir Salman smiled gently. Good, we need brave boys. Come to the track. Ian walked slowly, his heart beating fast like a drum. The athletes were already ready, stretching, adjusting their shoes, drinking water. Ian stood at the end of the line, feeling out of place. One boy smirked. So, Ian, came to lose. Another laughed. Let him run. We need some entertainment. Ian didn't reply. He remembered his mother's words. Beta, you don't need to be better than others. Just be better than your fear. Sir Salman raised the whistle. On your marks, Ian bent down, copying the posture of the other boys. Get set. His heartbeat echoed in his ears. Feet. The whistle blew. Everyone jumped forward. The trained runners shot like arrows. Ian ran too, but he was slow in the beginning. His legs felt heavy, and his breathing was uneven. The crowd was shouting, Go Ahmed. Run Ali. Come on Zain. Nobody cheered for Ian, but he kept running. After the first 100 meters, Ian found his rhythm. His legs started moving smoothly, and his fear slowly melted. He remembered how he used to run in the street during rain. That feeling came back, the freedom, the wind, the heartbeat. This is what I love, he whispered to himself. This is my dream. By the time they reached 200 meters, he had caught up with the last two boys. They looked shocked. Ian, one said as he passed them. At 250 meters, his breathing grew heavy. Sweat rolled down his forehead. But he kept pushing. At the 300-meter mark, the competition became tougher. The three strongest runners were far ahead. Ian was still behind them. His legs burned. His chest hurt. His mind said, stop. But his heart said something else. You didn't come this far to give up now. He remembered all the times he had dreamed of this moment. He remembered how he had wished to run on this track even once. He remembered how everyone said he couldn't do it. And suddenly, with all his remaining strength, Ian started running faster. His speed increased. His steps became stronger. He passed the fourth runner, then the third. The crowd was now shouting loudly. Who is that? Is that Ian? Look at him go. Even Sir Salman looked shocked. Only two boys were ahead now, Ahmed and Zain. They were the best runners in school. Ian was still behind them, but he didn't stop. His lungs felt like they were on fire. His legs screamed in pain. But he kept his eyes fixed on the finish line. The last 50 meters felt like the longest distance of his life. The crowd was roaring. "Come on, Ian. You can do it. Run, run." For the first time in his life, people were cheering for him. With one final burst of energy, Ian sprinted with everything he had left. The world around him became a blur. He didn't hear the crowd. He didn't feel his legs. He only saw the finish line. And then, he crossed it. Not just crossed it, he crossed it first. For a few seconds, everything was quiet. Ian stood there, breathing heavily, bending down, trying to catch his breath. He couldn't believe what happened. The boys behind him were shocked. The teachers looked amazed. The crowd stared with wide eyes. And then, the entire ground erupted in cheers. Ian won. He did it. What a finish. He is the last-minute champion. Ian looked around in disbelief. Was this real? Did he really win? Sir Salman walked towards him with a big smile. "Ian," he said proudly, "you are the surprise of the year. You showed us what true courage is." Ian's eyes filled with tears, not of sadness, but of pride. Later that day, during the medal ceremony, Ian stood on the first-place podium. The gold medal felt heavy around his neck, but his heart felt even heavier, with joy, courage, and a new confidence. His mother, who was watching from the audience, wiped her tears and said softly, "Mera beta champion ban gaya." His classmates surrounded him. "Bro, you run like lightning. Teach me how to run like that. I can't believe you won." Ian laughed shyly. He wasn't used to attention. But he liked it. From that day onwards, Ian was no longer the quiet boy who stood at the back. He started practicing running seriously. Sir Salman personally trained him. The school selected him for district-level competitions. Ian had discovered something important. Courage is not about being the strongest. Courage is about trying, even when you are scared. He had joined the race at the last minute. But that last-minute decision changed his whole life. And he became known in school as the last-minute champion.